Hey, it's Rick from Metagamers here, and I'm giving you a booth tour of the PlayStation booth at E3 2013. Interestingly enough, it was right across from Xbox. You can kind of see the green there on the right-hand side. I really liked the PlayStation booth just for the simple fact that it didn't seem as cramped as the Xbox booth. But you're getting a look at the PlayStation 4 here. Of course, they had a lot of games running on PlayStation 4 units, but they had a whole setup here. You could get an up-close look at it, and they laid it out pretty nicely here alongside of some controllers as well, the PSI, and then you're also going to see in a minute here the headset that you can optionally purchase as well. And there it is right there. So there's the PlayStation 4, there's the vertical stand, there is the mono headset that you just saw, the PlayStation camera, the wireless controller, and the wireless charging station. From kind of the backside on the controllers, I thought this was pretty cool. They've got the different capabilities for light up, so green, red, blue, depending on which player you are, so that was pretty neat. And then I was able to capture kind of an additional back view here where you saw all the ports and the vents and everything for the PS4. Real slick looking in person. A little bit more tour of the floor here. A real nice sort of LED display there. And then the big thing, of course, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, that PlayStation did really well was show their support for indie developers. And they had a whole setup here for PlayStation Loves Devs. And you were able to kind of get in here and take a look at some of the indie developer games that are currently being produced here. And this one I thought was really kind of cool looking with zombies and stuff like that. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that one once it hits PlayStation after it releases sometime shortly thereafter. So look pretty cool. Of course, you got all the fun stuff. Parappa the Rapper was a nice surprise to see him on the show floor. I hadn't seen him for a while. And everybody seems to have their cars out. That was for Gran Turismo 6. Blacklight Retribution was on the show floor running on the PlayStation 4, and it looked really nice. Graphics, I mean, we're gonna be able to tell what the next gen graphics look like as things kind of progress in the life cycle of both the PS4 as well as the Xbox One. But I admittedly will say it looks really beautiful. Lighting effects, the shadow effects, the textures. It runs really, really smooth, and they look really nice. Skylanders made an appearance on all platforms, Skylander Swap Force, and here it is for the PlayStation. So they definitely made their presence known in every single booth. They had their own booth. They had a PlayStation presence, an Xbox presence, as well as a Nintendo presence. And there was Gran Turismo. They had a real nice setup there with a whole bunch of different kind of simulated cars with steering wheels that you could get in and race each other, so that was pretty fun. Blizzard actually had a presence here as well, and that was, of course, to show off Diablo 3. I've got Diablo 3 on my Mac, so for those of you who maybe haven't tried it or played it, it's certainly going to be a fun game for you guys. And it looks great. It really does. It looks really nice, and it runs really well on the PlayStation platform. So that'll definitely be one if you haven't played it before and you want to get it on the console. It's going to be one you want to keep an eye out for. Like I said, their booth was really laid out pretty well, in my opinion. Very open, not as cramped as what I felt the Xbox booth was, and a lot of different games everywhere you turn. So this was the Puppeteer, and this game has a really cool sense of style, as you might catch right here. So I'm excited about this one as well. I like the look of it. It almost reminds me of something you'd see come from like Tim Burton. It almost looks like something from him. So I was very impressed by that. But I'll also say that a lot of the games that they showed had their own sense of style and very unique. And here's another one right here. And the cool thing about this is it showed that they're not rehashing a bunch of games for the sake of creating sequels. So there was a lot of new stuff that we saw at the PlayStation booth. Contrast was another game that impressed me. Really, really cool looking. Looks beautiful. This is another game that I can't wait to get my hands on once it releases. And you'll see in a minute here how you can kind of disappear into the shadows. It's a really intriguing kind of take on a game. and I'm excited for that one. And then finally NAC to close out this little short video here, which is going to be pretty exciting. So hope you enjoyed the quick kind of overview of the PlayStation booth, and I'll talk to you next time.